We're going to come for number 2. Okay, Instagram. So earlier today, I posted a couple of things on Instagram. So for come for number 2, you're going to get the gist as I choke down cheese balls. Probably some breath mints. And the long and short is about some of the videos I watched today. So it's high time that I stop playing. Alright? It's high time that I stop playing. Tomorrow's Thursday. I have class. I'm only going to make 2 videos for Kung Fu Habit number 2 and this 1 video for Instagram. Okay, maybe 3 videos for Kung Fu Habit number 2. But first, let's get serious for everything that I was talking about on Instagram about peaceful protesting. Okay? I come to a protest with something in my hand, like this wooden comma, and I'm antagonizing people, and I'm threatening people. There's no difference of me having this than you carrying a gun, a pickaxe, a knife. Uh-oh. Thought I knocked my cameras off for a second. Oh, come on. Oh, sorry. Get over here. Almost got cut that time. Ugh. All right. Almost done. Now, at any point in time, y'all tell me that these things look peaceful to you. Yeah, it's a recurve, so it's like the most dangerous thing here. No, it's really not. Without an arrow, there's no danger. We can change that. I can go get an arrow. This is a knife. This is a knife. This is a dagger. Technically, it's a knife. This is a wooden training instrument, but in my hands, it's still a freaking weapon. Yeah, I'd die if I was trying to actually use that. Looks like a shotgun shell, doesn't it? But it's really a knife. For Kung Fu Havoc number 2. And you tell me, did these things look like they're instruments of peace? Because, you know, I could, with this thing, probably lose a thumb. You see how delicate I gotta be to close this bitch back up, right? But technically, that thing there is so that I can hook it somewhere on this belt. This doesn't have protection for my pocket. This has protection for my pocket. This can go folded up in my pocket. This has this thing here I can slide it in. Also can fit in my pocket. This has this thing I can slide it in. And if I undo my belt, I can hook it on my belt through this little loop right here. This again, can't really fit in my pocket. Oh, excuse me. Now, YouTube and Instagram might not actually let these things air. But there's a reason. Put anything else in my pocket? No, I don't think that I did. Another knife. I also can use an aerosol can and a lighter. I can't find my spoon, but I'm pretty dangerous with the spoon. I can't find my Bruce Lee knife or my Spider-Man knife, but they do exist. Got a pair of scissors up here I can use. Let's see. I had a batarang, because that was a gift. See if I can find that really, really quickly. I know, hold on. Don't worry. Or something. It's a flashlight and a GPS. That was bad. There we go. Oh! It's actually 2 batarangs. I'm going to put those somewhere else. Alright. Who goes first? We're going to a peaceful protest, y'all. We're going to a peaceful protest. Yeah. Jab people. Throw these damn things. And put all this other stuff that I've got in an arsenal here. Does that look like I'm going on a peaceful protest to you? Because it doesn't look like I'm going on a peaceful protest to me. I'm not Robert Pattinson. I'm also the wrong color, so I'm definitely not going to be Batman. No. Now that I found these, I'd probably put them in a safer, more secure spot. Since my little nephew's always finding shit. Point being made. Alright? As a martial artist, if I have to get any of this stuff out, we're not doing any more talking. It's time to hurt people now. Gotta sew those tomorrow. And the no mask. I just wanted to point these things out to y'all. You know, I don't think that if you're going to a peaceful protest that you should go armed. I know people will probably show up armed, but those people are probably not into peaceful protesting. Oh, yeah. My favorite and classic. The Mighty Shuriken. Yeah. I really need to take these to peaceful protesting because, I'm going to defend myself with something that I'm going to have a hellacious time trying to aim and throw because I'm out of fucking practice. I haven't thrown a Thorn Star since I was 12 years old. I think I got these from Little G.I. Joe's in Newport News. This is an ink pen. Still dangerous in my hands. Because if you are a martial artist of a particular style, anything you touch, well, that's perfect. Let's see if we can combine these things. Perfect. Now I know that that one writes in black. That's great. Just go right there. It's taking too much time to try to put all this stuff back up. So let me break it down for you. Earlier today, I made a video on Instagram about peaceful protesting and about the stuff that's going on in Kenosha, not to be mistaken with the X-Men universe and the word Genosha, about these people walking around with these guns and people being killed and shit like that. I'm a martial artist. Unless I'm in a movie role, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to see me with a gun or a weapon in my hand if it's not in training purposes or making a video or a movie. And why is that? Because as a martial artist, these damn things right here and the things I'm standing on, that's all I need. I don't need to BS anybody. I know what I'm capable of with and without a weapon in hand, which my next video will be for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, specifically about martial arts, and I will hang that up and do that in a minute. But we as people, I made a lot of statements today on Instagram, and a lot of people probably aren't going to be happy about my IGTV video, but the simple fact is the truth. We aren't raising our kids right. We need to bring ass whoopings, belts, switches for their bitches and their britches and every damn thing else that starts with a B back into the household. When I was younger, I didn't escape ass whoopings. I got them probably from like 5, 6 years old, at least to be 12 and 13. Then my parents found, well, my mom mostly. My dad never really whipped me, because I was never really with him. I was only with him in the summertime, and I behaved. But for the most part, I earned those ass whoopings. I did stupid shit. I didn't do the same thing more than once, but I earned those ass whoopings. And then the fact that I have been fighting since I was 6 years old, so you kind of got a different dichotomy there on what's right, what's wrong, who's right, who's wrong. But in the world today, we are not raising our little girls right. We're raising them to have unwanted children, unprotected sex with boys who are just as stupid as these girls, who will tell these girls all these lies to get into their draws. And those girls and guys grow up to be men and women who make horrible decisions. Because understand this, I am a pro-choicer. Alright, when it comes to women, I'm looking out for women by saying I am a pro-choicer, because no one should have the right to tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body, and that goes double for a rape victim. A rape victim should never, under any circumstances, be forced to have the baby of the asshole that raped her. Now, if we're not going to raise our kids right, we have to accept the fact this is why we are in the situation we are. When I was younger, my parents taught me, when I'm pulled over by the cops, 10 and 2, do not remove your hands. When they pull you over, you cut that fucking car off, and the best thing you can do is throw your keys on the dashboard. You know, because they're going to actually remove your keys anyway. So wait for them to instruct you to do such a thing, and then remove the keys from the ignition, place them on the dashboard, do everything the officer says, whether it's female or male or transgender. We don't know if there's any transgender cops, that's why I added that in there. Or any cops from the LGBTQ plus, the goddamn Alphabet Squad. Any cops from the Alphabet Squad. You don't know what their life is outside of police work, alright? But if any cop tells you to do something, respectfully do that shit if it's morally right. However, everybody has a different set of morals. Everybody's moral compass is all over the place. You know, religious people have different moral views of what is right and what is wrong, and everyone else has different moral views of what is right and what is wrong. And then there's people like me. I believe in God, but I don't go to church because most of the people who run the church are the biggest devils in disguise. I'm sorry if I have offended anybody who goes to church, but if you look between the lines, how many times have you read about a preacher molesting a child? Or even a martial artist who molests a child, which is another reason why we need McDojos to continue to do what Rob does. Shout out to Rob. Anyway, I don't know Rob's last name, so I can't do anything but shout out to Rob. The whole point of the matter is, we have to raise our kids right. This doesn't really seem to be a problem in the white community. It's not so much a problem in the Asian community, at least not as well as you think for like Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans. Filipinos and other Polynesians, as well as other Asians. They don't seem to have a problem with their kids being mannerful and doing what they're supposed to do. But the black community, and being that I'm a part of the black community, because even though I'm multiracial with Cherokee and white as well as black, I can walk in all three worlds and tell you the truth. The black community really does seem to have a problem with that. You guys seen it the other day when you watched me talk about something, and these two young black girls proceeded to think that I was a homosexual, and proceeded to call me gay, and proceeded to cuss me out while I was walking my little nephew to put him to sleep. You know? So, it's kind of one of those things. If we're not raising our kids right, we can't get mad when the system fucks our kids. But, is it the system, or is it the kids? It's the same thing when I have made the video about complying with the police. I'm 47, yo. I've never been to jail. I've been handcuffed twice, but I've never been to jail. Because my dumb ass knows how to listen and do what I'm told. When they run my name, I don't have my, yeah, dude. When they run my ID, when they run it and they see my name and my social security number pops up and my address, I'll be lucky if I've mispaid a speeding ticket. Otherwise, they've got nothing on me. My veteran card's in there, my CAT card's in there. They'll know that I have served in the United States military. I'm usually not without those dog tags on. For the last month or so, I haven't honestly been wearing them because I walk right past them and have forgotten. I normally don't go anywhere without them. But I wear them to honor my brothers and sisters that are still in service while my ass is at home. I never wanted to leave the Army. I didn't ask for my hip to get fucked up. I didn't ask for the inability to shoot a gun, which is another reason why I don't carry them. I fear I might shoot myself in the foot trying to shoot someone else. So, you know, guns ain't for everybody. Simple as that. But discipline is. And we have to discipline our children. I'm speaking specifically to the black community. However, if you're Asian, if you're white, you can take note. But they pretty much discipline their children. And the reason why I just said Asian or white is because scientifically there are only 3 human species on the planet, unless you count people like me who are multicultural. We are the hybrids of society. We are the people that the racist people fear. Alright? I will make a video on that too. But the reason why I said that, I'm a triple threat. I'm Native American, who fall into a Mongoloid class, which falls into the Asian category. I'm black, which falls into the Negroes class. I still can't say that shit right, but you guys can scientifically Google the names that I'm trying to speak. And then there's caucus, or cockaloid. All of them have Lloyd at the end. I don't know what the hell the deal is with that. I'm not a scientist, man. Cockaloid, Mongoloid, Negroloid. Whatever. You can go Google all that shit. But those are the 3 scientific species. So if you're Hispanic from Mexico or South America, your ass is Asian. Deal with it. If you are Asian, which means you are from India all the way to Mongolia, you are Asian, you fall into the Mongoloid category. Why am I giving you this scientific lesson? Just go Google this shit. And everybody else is Caucasoid, which means you're white. So if you are Spanish from Spain, you're white. Alright, we got that out the way. The point is, in the black community, we have a lack of discipline for our children. I don't know when it happened. Somewhere between 1995 and 2000, black parents just stopped giving a damn, or had to start working extra jobs to feed our asses, and discipline took a side seat. Or maybe it was because somebody mistook discipline for child abuse, and next damn thing you know, black kids are being removed at an exponential rate from black houses, put in houses of other black people who probably also disciplined those kids and wound up going to jail as well with the parents that disciplined them in the first place. And then you have these cases. Now I can say this because I have a friend who's basically family, and she is not black, she is white. Her grandmother was common law married to my father. Okay, so you guys can do the geology on that shit, or genealogy on that shit, but she's still family. Her mother is my stepsister, so to speak. Alright, anyway, because her mother's mother was with my father since I was like fucking 9, 10, whenever they lived at Rushmere Shore. Anyway, the point of the matter is, and this is more specifically for blacks, again, if you are Asian or white, you can take note. Black kids were not being disciplined from the mid-90s to the current day. Somewhere along the line, we lost our ability to take a belt to our kids' ass. Now, some families didn't break tradition. My family didn't break tradition until 1997, or whenever my first sibling, who was 14, got pregnant. You know, we didn't break tradition until we moved out of the projects. Once we moved out of the projects, everything went to hell in a handbasket, and everybody just started doing what the fuck they want. And I've paid the price for that by not being able to have the life that I want, thanks to other people's lack of fucking responsibility. That is another video in itself. We won't go there. The fact of the matter is, because of the 2 young ladies that I met the other day, who have no discipline, who have no parental structure to let their children run around talking to adult strangers, calling them homosexuals, the words they used for me was impolite. It started with an F and ended with an agate. Okay? So I'm trying to be polite, people. I'm trying not to insult anybody in the Alphabet Squad because I don't do that kind of thing. But, you know, when I was younger, when I was their age, had I done that, my mother would have whooped my ass. My grandmother, on both sides, would have made me go to the back, pick a switch, and then they would have whooped my ass. My dad or my mom or my uncle or whichever family member at the time was in range of handing out ass whoopings, I would have got my ass beat. Alright? Now see, the thing about getting your ass beat is you got to be smart about it. You can get your ass whooped and learn from your mistake so that you don't do it again. Or, well, one of them damn knives cut me. Sorry. I ain't bleeding, but, you know, it kind of gave me a skin cut. Anyway, moving on. There's no pain. There's no blood. We're good. So, true story, I broke one of my eyelashes and my glasses for copying all the cool kids, which is another reason why I've never been cool. I'll never be cool, and that's fine. I don't want to be cool. I don't want to be in the in crowd. I like being me. So, at the time of the story, I was sliding across ice, and I fell. When I fell, I hit my head on the concrete, and my glass lens broke. Me being the dumbass that I am, popped it back in the glasses. Instead of taking the glasses off, I would keep doing like the other kids. I didn't fall anymore, but my glasses fell again. Put them back on, put the lens back in. One of my friend's grandmother happened to come up the street, My lens just popped up before she got there. It hit the ground. And this is when they made eyeglasses out of actual glass, not that plastic crap that you pay $200 for plus frame. And it shattered into 1,000 pieces. So I couldn't pick it up. But I put my glasses back on. And that afternoon, I got the ass whooping of a lifetime. My mom went AOL on my backside because those glasses were $200. If I ever find a picture of me as a kid with the glasses, I promise I will show you guys on Instagram. I have a bunch of curly hair. I have no idea where that picture is. But if I find it, I promise, as long as I'm breathing, I will eventually find it and show it to you guys. But anyway, so my friend's grandmother, Miss Johnson, I think was her name. I can't remember what the hell Craig's mother's name was. But whatever her name was, Miss Johnson happened to tell my mom. So I went to school looking like Dr. Mindbender. I had eyeglasses, but it was more like a monocle. And, you know, I didn't think about it the whole day. Didn't think that I was going to come home to get an ass whooping. Alright? So I came home, and my mom at the time, there wasn't but so many of us, because it wasn't 7 of us yet. I think it was like either 5 of us, maybe 4 of us. I don't remember, but I know I was still going to Burley Moran School. And when I got home, my mama said, "Show me your glasses." Yeah, I had to still be in Burley Moran because this is a time in my life when I was still telling lies. So I wasn't 12 years old yet. And I took out my glasses. Now I'm gonna show you how dumb I am. Before I left school, I scotch taped it. The lens that wasn't there, I scotch taped it because I was trying to be slick. So in school, every chance I got a hold of some scotch tape. I made a lens out of scotch tape, and then I scotch taped it in. And if you rub scotch tape like right, people can't tell that it's scotch tape. But the problem is, I put so much scotch tape in there that you could tell that it was scotch tape. So Mama goes, "Show me your glasses." There's nothing wrong with my glasses, Ma. And she could see the scotch tape. Because it would look like a hazy lens. If y'all don't know what that is, you probably don't wear glasses and your glasses have never fogged up. So I had a hazy lens, and Mom got her belt. And that was the ass whooping for that day. But the weekend came. My glasses had to get fixed. So before my glasses got fixed, that weekend, my mom's mom and one of my uncles, who will name nameless, whooped my ass. Alright? So guess who never played with his glasses on anymore? I took these bitches off. And this is before athletic sports apparel for like safety, like goggles and all that shit was an actual thing. God damn them all. So anyway, we're sitting there, and every time someone's like, "Well, James, you want to play?" "Yeah, hold on, let me take my glasses back in the house." Because I never went anywhere without my glasses. You know, because I just knew I had to have them. And as my age grew, I only needed them for reading because I kept eating the fuck ton of carrots because carrots are supposed to help your eyes get better. And sometimes it works, and everybody's different. It was working for me pretty good. I don't like carrots, but I eat the shit out of them, especially if they're boiled in like a stew or whatever. It's really the only way I actually like them unless they're smothered in peanut butter. But other than that, you know. So as I got older, I didn't have to wear glasses anymore other than anything but for reading. So that's why I wear my glasses. Only for reading. You guys seen some of these ugly things. Anyway, I do wear glasses, mostly for reading. But anyway, so the next thing that I did, I don't know what it was, but I got beat by 3.5 people that day. Alright? I don't know what I did, but I know we had to go spend a night at my grandmother's house that night. So before we went, whatever I did, my mom whooped my ass. When I got to my grandmother's house, my big sister whooped my ass. But she was always whooping my ass. My aunt, who was married to my uncle, gave me a stern talking to, but she didn't put her hands on me. But her husband, my uncle, he whooped my ass. And my grandma whooped my ass. And all that shit wound up being for me breaking those glasses and costing my mom $250, because back then $250 was a lot of goddamn money back in the late 80s or the middle 80s, whenever I was still at Burley Moran, before Back to the Future came out. So yeah, the original. So I got my ass whooped for some shit. But like I said, I earned those ass whoopings. Most of my ass whoopings came because I told lies. So, when I turned 12 years old, I stopped going to church, I started believing in God, and I didn't tell any more lies. I don't tell lies anymore. Period. I will give you as much of the truth as I think you can handle. So I will give you 99.9. Unless I know right here that you're check plus here, you're not going to jump the gun and overreact, and you're going to take the truth as it is. I also put 20 questions. I ask the questions, you answer the questions, and that way you get the whole truth without me snitching on somebody. I give you enough hints that you can figure it out. Let's put it that way. We don't raise our children right. We don't. Everybody here who's watching that are black, Couple Advocate number 2 on Instagram, you're going to be pissed off at this video. And that's fine. It's fine because it's the truth. If we're not raising our kids right, peaceful protest. I'm going to take this weapon to a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. I got my sign. I'm in a crowd of 30 people. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. And you tell me, how am I hurting you? I'm not in your face. I'm nowhere near you. I'm holding up my sign. No justice, no peace. Of course, this sign says, stay on mission. Human lives matter. If maybe when we go to these peaceful protests, we stayed on mission and think for a second that human lives matter. Not the race of the person, but their life itself matters. We would not have had an incident that we had last night in Kenosha. We would not have had an incident where people are getting killed by the police. I want to end this on a real but sad and kind of positive note. Alright? So, I don't view the world the way everybody else views it. Alright? I've made videos like this before, and this is the part where I piss off a lot of people. So if you're not ready for the full 1,000, you can stop watching right now, and you can go away. Because I'm going to offend you, I'm going to piss you off, but all-heartedly I'm doing this lovingly, and I'm going to say this 1,000% because I personally was taught to comply with the cops. You may think I am a sheep, and I'll be that. But I'm a sheep that's alive versus a sheep that's shot in the back. Now, the incident in Kenosha where the young black man who is now going to be paralyzed for the rest of his life, first and foremost, he went over there to stop a domestic dispute. He never thought for a New York minute that he would be having a life-changing event. I am not holding him completely responsible for that. Again, this is where I piss y'all off. Where he fucked up at was not stopping when the cop told him to stop. He realized he was surrounded by cops, and honestly, I watched the video, it's only 20 some odd seconds. I think he probably should have stopped. He should have stopped walking. Y'all can judge me however you want, because I said the same damn thing about the guy at Burger King back in Atlanta that was already handcuffed, and I'm strongly sorry to offend y'all or his family, but he did throw away his life. But my friend that I was at work with did point out another part, and I'm going to touch on that before I end this video, unless time runs out. One, for Kenosha, the second dude opened his door, he was already a dead man. He's lucky he's to be breathing right now. Because you could see how those cops were pulling on him, and he just kept resisting, and it was going to go down. It was going to go down. There was no way to avoid that from going down other than when he was on the other side of the car, he should have just fucking stopped. Alright? So if I've offended you with that, I'm telling you the truth. How many more black men are going to resist cops because of black pride and just say, fuck you, man, I'm out. If we're going to do that, you can't get mad at a chicken shit officer who decides to shoot you in the back. Now, apparently in other things, they were talking about a knife and all this other shit. It's like, well, if he had to walk all the way around the car to get the knife, then them cops is just fucking dumb for letting him walk all the way around the car to get the damn knife and then deciding to shoot him. They could have tased him on the other side of the car. See, it's two sides to this whole thing. It's actually four sides because it's everybody's side that was there. And the Lord's side covers the fourth side. Because the girlfriend said something, the cops haven't spoke, the uncle has said something. You know, this young man, he has not yet to speak because he's in serious, stable condition. Alright? So we're going to be praying for Mr. Jacob. Alright? And everybody's going to be looking at me and saying, James, you're just stabbing one of your own in the back. No. I'm pointing out what I saw. You might not like what I saw, but what I saw was 1,000% the truth. When he walked around the car, he gave his life to them because all he had to do was comply. You know how many times I have been afraid of the cops, but I've been so afraid of the cops that I just do what the fuck they say so that I don't get shot, because when I was younger, I was taught to do what the fuck the cops tell you to do. If they tell you, give them your hands, give them your goddamn hands, because everything's going to get fixed when you go downtown. If you haven't committed a crime a day in your life, that's the safest place for you to be right now, is with the cops. But if you're going out and you're doing bad shit, if you're going out and you're thugging and you're doing the alternative lifestyle or illegal paraphernalia when you shouldn't be doing the shit and you're asking for trouble, you're at fault. I'm sorry, you are at fault. And again, if I've pissed you all off for that, I'm sorry. I'm an honest man. When he walked around that truck, he gave his life away. It's the same thing I said about the poor guy who died at Burger King. He was handcuffed. He was handcuffed. Had he just complied, he'd be alive with his children. And me and that guy is about the same age. Me and George Floyd are about the same age. But the difference between them is, I have never done drugs outside of alcohol. I know how to talk to the cops. I know how to respond to the cops. It has nothing to do with my martial arts training unless you count the discipline part. But my parents raised me correctly to respect authority. When we took the ass whoopings out the house, black people are the only ones that started getting fucked up. Think about that shit. Think about that shit long and hard when you rewatch this. Think about what I said. You're going to a peaceful protest with weapons. You're not going there peacefully. You're not complying when the cop tells you to do something. Some cops are cowards. And they will shoot first and ask questions later. And this shit right here, this skin tone, yeah, I'm high yellow. I'm still a black man. Yeah, I'm multicultural. In the eyes of the law, if your skin is brown, your ass is going down, and that should be something that everybody's teaching their kids right now. If your skin is brown, your ass is going down. Hell or high water, whether you did something or not, do what these bastards say. Because they don't give a damn about you. Yeah, their job is to protect and serve. But for every good cop, there's 5 or 6 bad cops. And you need to understand that as a person who is brown, that if you don't comply, you're going down. No one's going to care. See, these little life movement matters and shit, they're not there until after the shit breaks out. Alright? These protests that are happening right now, curfew is happening right now. See, Black Lives Matter, we're not there while he was getting shot. You see where I'm going with that? They don't ever get there before the incident. They get there after the incident. Now, let me play devil's advocate, because I talked about this earlier in a video earlier today. Black people are afraid of the cops. Why are we afraid of the cops? Look at the track record. But cops don't just kill black people. They've killed white people. They've killed Asian people. You may not read about it because they brush it under the rug, but they have killed more than just black people. But black people are the most afraid of cops because of the shit that we are not teaching our children. If you tell your kid that if a cop pulls you over, you ain't got to respect that motherfucker, your kid's not going to respect that motherfucker, and your kid is going to get hurt. And it's going to be on you. It's the same thing as if you tell your daughter, don't value yourself and sleep with everybody, get pregnant by 20 men, and have all their babies. Or you can tell your daughter, sleep with everybody, get pregnant, catch a disease, and go to an abortion clinic to use birth control instead of just getting birth control pills. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a clusterfuck. Everything here is a clusterfuck. And it is a clusterfuck because no one has discipline. No one is telling the children the truth about authority. No one in the authority are going into these communities of color and having outreach programs, which they should have started a long time ago. It shouldn't take George Floyd for all the cops in every state to open up a community-based program to teach the youth of America, and specifically the black youth, that they don't have to be afraid of every cop. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't be cautious. They should very well be cautious of not just every cop, but of everybody. Because black-on-black crime is still a thing. And we are more likely to be subject to a crime committed by a person who looks like us versus someone who doesn't. Earlier, I also spoke about the video of the man who got robbed by two black guys, and he was black. They took the white lady's stuff. They took his wife's stuff, who was also white, or whitish, and they took the daughter's stuff and his stuff. And they were black people, but the elevator picture got them going in. So the dumbass with the gun trying to hide his face like this so he can peek out, they got you, buddy. It's just a matter of time before they catch you. And you're a dumb fuck and a coward because you're going to rob a child. That being said, I want to end this with this. If I have offended any of you with everything that I've said tonight, I apologize. But if you can't handle the truth, I'm not the guy that you should ever ask any questions, because I'm going to lay it down to you the way I see it. And if you're not going to like it, let's just put it out there. The truth is point of view. We all view things differently. Quote the Geth from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. We all see, but everybody sees something different. What I miss is your truth. What you missed is my truth. You don't have to like it, but that does not make it any less truer than what I see. I don't have to like your truth, but it doesn't make it any less truer because you could have been in a different angle. You could see more than what I could see. So does that make you a liar? Fuck no. It just gives you the tactical advantage of, I was on the side before he got shot versus I'm on the side that he got shot. Now I'm watching it from the phone. So what I see is all I can work with. But for the people who are actually there, they've got the whole truth. So kind of remember this as we go out. When we watch these videos of people getting hurt, killed, maimed, destroyed, or fucked up by the police, we don't get the whole story. We never get the whole story. We get from where the video kicks in, which is never the beginning. It's always a third of the way in until you get to the end. So whatever happened before some smart person got their cell phone and started recording, we got that. Analyze what we got, and we have to go from there. But the only person that really knows what happens is the people involved and the good Lord, if thy believe in the good Lord. If you don't, I'm not going to push it down your throat. I believe in God. I can't make you believe in God. Thanks for watching. YouTube, thanks for watching.